guys, Rick Shaw here. It's the 12th of November 2021. Wanted to show you my nice light we got hung, and it's got some adjustment to it. That was a light I bought many months ago, but I didn't want to jerry rig it for hanging it, so I bought what this is called. In the US, you guys know what it is. It's a toggle. You pop a little hole, you poke it through, it opens up. And this is a drywall lid, so I have a little tiny drywall saw I just put through and twist it so that this fits nice and tight. But the nice thing, when I was hanging this light, right after I popped the hole, I hit a metal stud. So I got my little hole saw, it's a step drill, and I popped up through there. So that light is good and secure, really secure. The other thing that we got the other day that I got hung already was this fan. It's a Softtech. One of my subscribers mentioned it that lives here, and then also a buddy of mine said he bought one a year and a half ago, and then he bought two more. It's incredibly quiet. It's got the nice pull cords on it, so you don't got to reach up. I had other ones where you had to reach up, so this way at least Faye can reach it. And it's got an oscillator and all that, so that's a really nice fan for the money, and it was about 15 bucks. Not too bad. But one of the things that got me, this company called YPSS off Lazada. I bought a pair of driving glasses, okay? There they are right there. And the only reason I bought them is because it says polarized. So I went ahead and ordered them. They weren't too expensive. So they came, they're glass, just like it stated, which is really nice. But guess what? Not polarized. So I went ahead and hit them up on the chat, and they said, oh no, we checked them, they were polarized. So this company's a pile of crap. They advertise stuff on there. I also bought some stuff from the same company in the past. It's like a featured store. I like to go to those. Everything I got was wrong. You know, I kept it because trying to send stuff back is just a royal ordeal. So they know they're doing this crap. They don't care. They'll send you something. You know, I ordered a pair of scissors and they sent me a pair of hemostats. You know, I don't get that at all. But I kept them. I got the hemostats. I guess I could use them. But watch for that company on there. But we're just having a nice, easy day. It looks like it's going to be nice and sunny, so I am going to attempt to do my sprocket on the back of the bike today. The problem is, you know, she's got that store running, so I can't hardly even get in there to do anything now. The cabinet, she puts a bunch of stuff on the cabinet, so it kind of sucks. You know, I had my little area, and it got co-opted, so I don't get to use it anymore unless I squeeze in. There's a table up now and all this crap, so I'm not really happy about that, but I'll have to deal with it and work with it. One of the things on the car also, I always check the battery fluid, even though it's a maintenance free. Just pull that sticker off and take the plugs out. Some of them have a snap thing on the top, and when you look at the left side of the battery, and I looked at it when I bought the car, and the level was about halfway down, and there's a black line there, and that's the way it came from the factory. So every time I went to add a little water, and it used a lot of water, believe it, and you know, every month I would check it every 2 months, and I always had to add distilled water in there. And I have a little turkey baster for doing that, and always clean the top of your battery. So I was always making sure it was up to that line, so the battery failed. So I went ahead and took it out. I'm gonna get another one. I was taking the measurements so I could order the battery. And guess what? On the other side of the battery, it says max fill, which is way up to the top, like most batteries I've ever seen. On the left side, covered that line there. That was the minimum fill. So what I did today, I filled the battery up to the max, distilled water, and then the kids and I took a big long ride in it. and then I let it set and idle for a while, and it's firing right up. It seems to be doing okay. I might have missed that, but I don't understand why on a battery company would put the minimum amount of water line on one side and then the maximum on the other. And it has like a little thing on it, like a covering over the battery, a vibration covering, and you can see the line on one side, and there's no slot on the other, so you wouldn't think there's anything there until I pulled the battery out. So that was just one of the Asian things that was just weird to me. Hopefully this battery will hold out. I never had a battery in my life last 2.5 years and quit. You know, I always do the maintenance, and I never bought into this maintenance-free batteries. Never. They all need maintenance, just like everything else on your car. They want the cells to go dry, and then they want you to buy another one. More garbage in the landfill. So hopefully this will take care of it. We'll see. I'm not going to trust it for a couple days, but I ran it for a while. I came back out a little bit later. When the battery was low, it doesn't want to start. It like cranks a few times before it'll start. And if it don't start on the first one, then I got to clutch start it. This time I left it run, and then I waited about a half an hour, and I went out, and it just tapped the key and it fired right up. So it charged the battery back up. So we're getting there. This thing here, I gotta, I want to clean it first, get the pressure thing out and clean all the grease off the chain and everything. But it's just such a mess in here now with all the stuff. And I'll get to it. I'll figure it out. But that's where we're at today. Just getting things done. But I really like the fan. It's quiet. And it's nice for at nighttime. Maddie and I slept down here last night. We pulled the cool little couch out. We were watching a movie. We've been watching these cop stop things, and it's all the cops trampling your constitutional rights, and they got some auditors that go around. I've been watching a lot of those lately, and they're pretty interesting. And it's a real shame. Cops do not know the oath that they took. And the bad thing about it is, the thing that I really am taking away from this is, even the ones that say they're a good cop, they back that cop up. And all the way up to sergeants and lieutenants and stuff. And there's these lawsuits. This one lackluster channel I watch, they come back and they show lawsuits. I watch Amagansett Press, and there's a whole bunch of them I've been watching. And the camera don't lie. These cops do not know their job. They give you, I found out in Georgia, a cop doesn't have to have a radar gun or nothing. He can just look and say, yep, he was speeding, and they can give you a ticket. What the hell is that? That's just incredibly crazy. I wouldn't even want to drive in Georgia anymore. You could be doing 20 miles an hour, and they could say you're doing 100. And you'll lose, because I don't care what anyone says. I've found this out from past experience. Those cops and that court is in cahoots. All it is a taxing place to take your money. I've been treated badly by the police on many occasions, and they give you these tickets. I fought every single one of them. I actually was going through a place that was a known speed trap. I was with a cop. I was with a stinking cop. And he even told me, he says, hey, as soon as you break this corner, there's going to be a motorcycle guy sitting there. He worked for him. Motorcycle guy sitting there shooting a radar gun in the trees. And then when you get up ahead, when the road opened up to a 4-lane, that's when they start pulling everyone over. Quarter of a mile up the road. And the speed limit it's a highway. It goes from 55 down to 25. So I slowed down to 25, and people were passing me, and they pulled everybody over in a group. And when I took it to court. And the cop was even telling me, hey, come on, let us go. And nope, he wrote me a ticket he had me doing 67 in a 25, which was absolutely ridiculous. That car wouldn't even go 67. I'm telling you the truth. So we go to court that day, dismissed. Everybody who showed up, it got dismissed. Everybody who paid the ticket paid, but it ate up a day. My court date was 9. They wanted you there at 8. and you waited outside, and then at 9 you went in, and the dude walked in, dismissed everybody. So they knew it was a bogus bull crap. But this is what they do, because the people who go to court, and that costs you money, because now you've missed a day of work. You know, I went in, I took off straight to work. I had to take my buddy home. You know, that was an hour or so, and then I had to go into work. So I barely got a half a day, which this is what they do. You know, and same like here, same like with these cops. When they stop you here, if you're a foreigner, they know that you don't want to go to court, especially when I travel to Manila. They'll see this big white beard and they'll pull me over. These guys will pull me over and make up something. And they won't write anything. They'll take your license. They won't write anything because they'll just keep hammering you, and they'll keep telling you, you know, you're going to have to come back here on this date. It's going to cost you this much money. All they want is money. And until the main government stops being corrupt, these guys are never going to stop being corrupt. They're going to constantly do it every single time. I told my wife I'm not going to Manila anymore. Forget it. Last time I went, when Tropical Tim came, we decided, you know, don't let him ride the bus. I'm going to go ahead and just drive him home. And then we spent a night over there with them. It was a super nice visit. And when we went to leave, I told the guy, I got it on camera, pal. I didn't do anything wrong. And he, So that wound up costing me $20. You know, this is what they do, and it seems to be, you know, worldwide. I watch some of the auditors from England, and the cops there in England are absolutely horrible too. They're turning into being bad people. All they are is process servers and tax collectors. That's all they are, and the abuse that they do on people, it's just unbelievable. Now, is this just a small percentage of it? Yeah, but how many people just get a ticket, or they tell them, give me your ID, and people just fess up? That's unconstitutional, guys. If you're not haven't committed a crime, and that cop can't tell you what that crime is, you don't got to identify yourself. And they say, oh, well, it's a ID state. You know, we can ID you. No, that's wrong. They have to have a crime first, and that's crazy. So, real bummer watching that stuff. But hopefully, I'll get the sprocket done today. Get that bike going. I'm also, while I'm in there, I'm going to check the battery on that one, make sure there's enough water in it, and just do some maintenance. I'm going to change the oil and do all that kind of stuff. I don't take the camera out there because I'm not setting the camera up there on a tripod, and I can't run it because my hands will probably have grease on them and all that baloney, and I don't want somebody knocking it over on the tripod. Because if I bust this camera, I'm out of business, at least for a month or so. You know, because you know, these things. I bought this one. I got this one for $15,000, and now the cheapest I can see it now is about $24,000, and that's not. I can't do that just whenever I want. That's got to be something I plan for. So it would be a real bummer if it broke. And somebody said, "Oh, well, why don't you use your phone?" Well, you know what? The phone camera footage sucks. It shakes too much and all that. Now, Tim, Tropical Tim, he does a really good one because he's got this gimbal that it's cool. He can move his hand all like this, and that thing just keeps that straight. So his videos they're really good. But I'm not buying a gimbal. I hate this phone. I hate this stupid phone now. Now, I don't know, this morning when I went to Lazada, I had to order an extension cord because I want to do the pressure washing out, and I got both my extension cords stolen, which is a real bummer. And I got an extension cord coming for out there. So when I went to do that, I always look at extension cords and put them in my wish list, and then you go down after that one pops up and I find a good price. So here a 16 gauge is going to be fine for everything I have. 25 footers all I need. So I found one for like 329 pesos. Great deal, okay? And then I had to order the little grounded adapter thing for my plug. I needed one of those. Then when I went over to the cart, it put all the stuff from the wish list in there. Now, I don't know if it's the phone doing that or Lazada. Just stupid stuff is going on, and then it wouldn't load. It wouldn't load to do what I wanted it to do. So crazy. Another thing I got to do is that fan. I got it plugged, jacked up there with the box, but I have to get a one of them plugs that'll lay flat, because there's only about this much room behind the TV, and I don't know why they don't make all plugs anymore the 90-degree angled ones, you know, because the plugs stick out this far from a stinking wall. And or at least give you one that's I got some adjustable ones. I bought this little adjustable jobby right here. Look at that. Is this cool or what? Look at that. So that's pretty cool. You gotta turn it back on, sweetie. But I am gonna go ahead on this place, at least in a couple spots. I'm gonna, where I can, I'm gonna try to pull grounds in there. I'm gonna drive a ground rod. There's a place in the meter socket for a ground to run through, and then the first place it comes into is over there, and I'm going to put a ground in the panel, and whatever I can get pulled through, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm also going to pull all this taped up crap that they got. That's all going to go. If I do it, I'm going to go ahead and get a video of it won't be like a long video of me doing it. It'll be just pictures here and there of what I find. It's all Smurf tube, so I know it's going to be a major job. My friend did it when he bought his house. He repulled it. He's a engineer, and he repulled his entire house. Now, but him, I couldn't believe that when we were talking to him about our electric bill, I was complaining that the electric bill in Carmona was so much higher, and I'm not using anything more than what I did in the other house. And when he told me his electric bill, that a normal electric bill was $25,000 to $30,000 a month, I was like, maybe he shouldn't have pulled that wire. I don't know, but my goodness. But here, with the extension cords, I always had 12 gauge or 14 gauge extension cords, but here it's 220. So you've got your two legs, so you can go. The one I'm getting is 16 gauge. That's going to be plenty for everything I need with the wattage. 7 amp, so that's going to be more than enough to handle anything I need to do. And 25 feet for this place is enough. All my pressure washer, my compressor, and all that have a pretty long cord on them already. So I just got to get the adapters. It's a shame, you know. Any of these houses I've ever seen, they never put a ground plug in, and they never put grounds. But everything you buy has a ground plug in it, and I don't like to cut those off, because if I change something, then all of a sudden I gotta cut the wire and put a new head on it. So I'm not into doing that at all. So I'll just get the little adapters. But you also have to look at those adapters and see how many watts they're rated for. You know, if I'm running out my pressure washer out there, and you get these little cheap plastic adapters, yeah, the cord may be enough to handle it all, but that little adapter's not, and you're going to wind up with trouble. So I found on Lazada, and it was like 26 pesos for a 2500 watt, which is more than enough. I'm not putting two heads on the plug and running a bunch of stuff. It's going to be a one thing at a time deal. You know, I usually get pretty organized, and I learned something a long time ago when I work. Don't get too many irons in the fire. You know, when you're doing your work, plan out a job you're going to do and focus on that job, because things are going to pop up anyway. And I had one buddy, super good buddy, and if you went into his garage or you went into anything, he would start 10 different projects and he never got anything done. He just had too many irons in the fire. And I used to talk to his dad a lot, and his dad said, yeah, I don't know what happened to him. His dad was one of the most organized guys I ever met. You went into his shop, and man, he had all his stuff laid out real nice, and he would just every day, retired guy, every day he'd do projects and stuff, and he got a lot done. So that's what you have to do. Now, yesterday I planned on, when the stuff came, I planned on hanging the light and hanging the fan. And when I have everything I need to do my job, I put my tool belt on. I only put the tools I need, and I had that light hung in about 10 minutes, and I had the fan hung in even less than that. So, you know, I had a plan of what I was going to do, and that was it. You know, other than washing the dishes and the general stuff we have to do around here. So today, it's the motorcycle. I'm not planning on doing the oil, but if I get her done in a decent amount of time, then I'm going to go ahead and I'll get the oil too. The oil's no big hurry. Now I could take it up to the dealer. I still got a coupon to get the oil done. I might even do that once I get the sprocket on and try it out. And but it needs geared down. It definitely needs geared down. Now, I saw the YTX 125 the other day when we were out, and this dude was driving past kind of when I was parked, and I got out because he stopped, and I said, hey, can I check your bike out for a minute? And he's like, yeah, sure. He was a real cool guy. And same bike as mine, black one, and he had these really big tires on it, front and rear. And I said, boy, those fit on there pretty good. So I wrote the sizes down. So when I do the bike, I think I'm going to change that back one out. And I won't even wait till it's wore out, because for some reason, I believe what's happening is when that bike squats down in the rear, it just gets so squirrely. Now, when I was riding it by myself, it's very stable. I love to ride it. But when Faye gets on the back, that thing gets squirrely because it's pushing the suspension down. Now, when I took they have 4 shocks in the back, and it shows you which ones to take off in the owner's manual. So I took 2 of them off to see how it was going to be, if it'll give me a little smoother ride, because it's pretty stiff. Well, guess what? It got squirrely with just me on it. So I'm thinking if I could, maybe if that bigger tire jacks the back up a little bit, it's not going to mess up the front end geometry to make it squirrely. That's just my thinking on it. Also, I want to get in there and check the float. I got the measurements for the float. I actually called up the Yamaha dealer, and they answered. I had the girl's cell phone, and I said, hey, could I talk to the service guy? And she said, what do you need? And I said, I need the measurements to adjust the choke on this carburetor, and I gave her the carb number. Oh, I have that here on Microfiche. Okay, so she gave it to me, and I have it now, and it's just like every other carb I ever did. They don't give you an exact one. They give you a room, because there's just a little tab in there you got to bend. So I'm going to get in there and check that. I have the tools to measure it. I might bend that to try to see if it'll stop that. It's not bogging. It's not a lean condition. I think it's just not fueling properly when you hit the gas. So that's got to get taken care of, because you don't want the dang thing to burp, especially here. You have to have perfect fueling here, because when you need to get up and go here, you need to get up and go. The traffic's ridiculous. Now, another thing I bought for the motorcycle, guys, and I'm telling you what, I had these in the States. I didn't know if this one was going to be good, but look what I got here. Now, there's my daytime driving glasses for the motorcycle, but look at my nice little rear view. I got a little rear view mirror. I had these when I was in the States. This one, I thought it was going to, the one I had before was plastic, and it was kind of rigid, and it didn't shake, and I thought this wire one, it's a spring steel, I thought, uh-oh, that's not going to be any good, but guess what, it doesn't shake. I got it mounted to the glasses, and they work really great. You want a model for me? You be the model, and there they go. And then can you see behind you? Yeah, it works pretty good, huh? Oh, that's nice for the motorcycle. And I had them in the States. I had them on both sides, but you don't need to. I've got 2 of them, one for my different glasses. You might mount one to the helmet, because you can always turn your head to see who's to the right of you and who's to the left. And it's a quick thing. I highly recommend, if you come here to the Philippines, you buy these. I got 2 of them for $159 through Lazada.
Do you turn the gas off like this?
Yeah. So, guys, even though you have the mirrors on your motor, don't take your mirrors off your motorcycle, because the cops will stop you for that. Leave them on. You can even fold them out of the way if you want, but I leave them too. That way I can go ahead and angle them out a little bit to make sure nobody's coming up beside. But this is what sees behind me, and I'm constantly in my mirrors here. And if you ride here and you're not a mirror guy, yeah, buddy.
I sneezed out my ear.
Oh no! Yikes!
What?
But if you need to constantly scan fore and aft here when you're driving your bike, because you can get dead here quick, fast, and in a hurry, because the way they drive, it's absolutely unbelievable. Excuse me, the driving here. The bike. Now, when I drive the bike, I actually for a while I was doing a messenger job. This is when I was young, and I was driving through city traffic on a pedal bike. I had a Raleigh Record Ace. That was a fantastic bike. I actually spent extra money for. I got rid of that stupid shifter that they had on it, and I put an internal hub shifter on it. And in the city, it just had 3 gears, and it would shift immediately. It was a really good one. I actually, when I went to the bike store, it was used, and the dude knew what it was. It was Frederick's Bicycle Shop. They were a big time bicycle shop. And the dude looked, he goes, I know this one. And he says, hey, $25, I'll rebuild it for you. He says, it's kind of worn. And I said, yeah, do it. Rebuild it. And he rebuilt that. And I had that bike on there. I had that bike from, my goodness, the 70s when that one first came out. And I had that up until the 90s. That was a great bike. It was the biggest one they had. I didn't have to have a long seat post on it. The seat was only a little bit up above the frame. It was a monstrous big bike. And then what I did on it, the drop handlebars, I turned them over so that I could have my hands up in the air, so I was sitting upright and could see. And even back in those days, I wore a helmet because of the traffic. Never went down. And the tires I had on it, I changed those ones out. The rims on it and the tires I changed because they were, I bent those rims, and I was constantly screwing with spokes and stuff. Went back down to Fredericks, and I said, look, man, I'm driving through potholes. You're cutting through traffic. You can't miss them. And he says, I got just the thing for you. And he had a really heavy duty rim. It was like a dual rim at the time. It was kind of expensive. I think I paid $80 at the time. But they were nice people down there. And then it had the tires on it at the time were 90 PSI tires. And boy, did that make a difference. That bike was absolutely fantastic. And then after I was done doing messenger stuff, I actually got a fork on the front that had a big bend in it. It was a flex fork. And it would give you a little bit of suspension give to it. Not much, an inch maybe, but that bike, I had that for years and years. And when I sold it, that was when Craigslist was coming out, and I put it on there. I couldn't believe how much money I got for that. And it was like the first guy that came, I says, look, I don't want to sell it to you for that, because right now, look, it's already up from, I'm going to wait. And he says, the price that he offered, he says, I'll double it right now. Okay, that's cash in hand. I'm not waiting for somebody else. I took it. I couldn't believe the amount of money. That guy just wanted that bike. And them old steel bikes, guys, this new aluminum crap and making a bike light, I think that's all a big pile of baloney. My Raleigh Record Ace was light, but I've built bikes in the past that were heavy because I wanted steel. Especially if you play around this area. These aluminum, I've already seen here numerous times where guys crash their bikes because the weld broke or something. Most of the stuff comes from China here, guys. But if you get a good made bike, I wish they would sell the Dutch bikes here. Go online to YouTube and punch in Dutch bikes and look how they do it. That would be the perfect bike for here. You don't need a lot of speed, you just need to keep moving. I've got this big fat tire bike I got off of Wes. We ride it all the time around here. Took it into town one time, but it's got the derailleur system on it, which I want to get rid of. I hate those. You can't put a belt on this bike because it don't got a knockout on it, but the chain's okay. I'll go with that. But I want to get a different hub, and it's plenty big to take. I could probably put a roll-off on there and get something that's going to shift a little bit smoother. This one here, it shifted good when I got it, and then after we were riding it all around here, and then it started messing up. So I actually went online because I don't know how to adjust those. I've had them in the past. I never had luck with them. And there was a really good tutorial on how to adjust it, and it's perfect right now. It shifts really good, but the problem with those things are they don't stay in adjustment. They just don't. I actually had some blue Loctite I put on the screws, and hopefully that'll keep it that way. Now it's been going for over a month, without going out of adjustment. And we ride this thing like daily. I mean, we're constantly out on the bikes riding around the neighborhood and stuff. And I don't usually shift too much on it. You know, I put it in low gear. But the kids like to race. Maddie on a scooter and stuff. And of course, we got to race around the circle. I'll have to put my thing on the bicycle helmet. I have a camera mount on there, but it broke on the bicycle helmet. That's why I haven't been getting any videos of that. And I don't want to ride around on a motorcycle helmet because when I'm riding a bike, I just drip sweat. And the bicycle helmet up there, the red one, that little guy doesn't have any felt or anything. It's just hard styrofoam. So if I get sweaty in that, I just take it, rinse it off in the sink, and it's good to go again. The other one's all got material in there. That's why I wear those little blue. I got these little pull-on beanies that I always wear. If you're riding a motorcycle, guys, get them. Lazada sells them. They're just a little beanie, and then you put those on your head, and they take up the sweat, and then you just wash those all the time, and that keeps you from having to pull your guts out of the helmet and wash them, because you do that too many times and they just fall apart. And what they do with these damn helmets is the companies that sell those guts, you should buy those guts when you get the helmet. The little stick-on cloth material. Buy it when you get the helmet because they changed them. My old helmet, I had washed it so many times it went bad, and then they said, "Oh no, we don't make any for that model." And all they do, it's the same helmet. All they do is they change the connection points so you can't use the old one. So, it's just stupid what they do, but it's all how they make money. It's what they do. Most companies do it. But we got our couple little chores done. See, we got a whole bunch of folks out there. That's why it's hard to do anything here now. The store is a double-edged sword is what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And I'm going to get my little dolly too.
Rickshaw out.
And
Help
don't-
me. Rickshaw out.
I'm telling you guys, I love these babies so much you wouldn't believe it. And God bless all of you. Thank you for watching the channel, and you all take care now. You hear?